back to the program, everyone. Very happy to introduce you once again today to our Mayor Johnson. You've been a regular lately. We're so happy you stopped by again because we know your schedule is overwhelmingly busy. But first, may I just congratulate you and the trustees on everyone involved in putting on another amazing concert series this summer.
Oh, it went beyond belief. First off, we thank God,
the weather held again.
Every year holds out for us. It was beautiful and all that. Actually, we finalized numbers, but it looks like we had our biggest year ever. We know we had the two biggest attended concerts. First one was KC's Sunshine Band on 4th of July.
Yeah, that was great.
That set the original record. Then when All American Rejects came, part of Rotary Fest, that broke that record pretty easily.
But how is it you track these numbers with massive crowds
we
like that?
We actually try to do counts the best we can. There's a system out there that all people do is you take a space and you figure how many people fit in that space. And then you add up and you look at it and they can come up pretty accurate numbers. It's amazing how they do it. But what's funny is All American Rejects threw us off completely.
Okay, well, now this was, you said last time, this was going to be your first attempt to make something directed at the younger
yes.
group. And you were wondering, because you said, if this works this year, we'll try it again. If it doesn't, kids, we gave you a shot.
Well,
how did it turn out?
Unbelievable. And that's the same. We couldn't figure out because they stand. They don't sit at concerts. Lollapalooza and all that. They stand the whole time.
Yeah.
So a lot of them was funny because a lot of the kids were talking and saying, you know, Mayor, what are all those chairs for? Even the band asked me, Mayor, what's all these chairs for? I said, well, that's where the people sit. And they go, no.
Not our crowd.
Yeah, they go, no, people want to stand. You can't. Now, actually, it was good that we had the chairs because it kind of kept them somewhat separated so we didn't get too many people.
Oh, kind of at least a row.
Yes.
Yeah.
It kept it somewhat better. But so, yeah, the numbers, I mean, it was beyond belief. We have some aerial pictures that we work with and stuff. It just shows beyond belief.
Were there any older folks that went through that?
There was a few.
Well, you were there.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, I'm one of the older ones out there. There was a few, not like we normally have.
All right, so it was strictly meant for the younger crowd.
Yes, well, anyone that may know the music. I mean, sometimes younger people, older people know young music like that. But what's funny was the band, lead singer, don't know his name, to be honest, was talking to me during the show, actually, right afterwards. He goes, I got a kick out of your speech, Mayor. I said, what do you mean? He goes, you got up and said, you're finally getting a band that's not on oxygen. You know? And he goes, that was a great line. He goes, we loved it and all that. And I said, well, you know, but we did promise, like you said, so we promised the younger crowd, if you turn out at Rotary Fest, which makes sense because you got the carnival for the kids. So a lot of young people have kids at the carnival, got the beer sales, the food. It makes sense for them to have that kind of thing. So I would have to say with the crowd we had, they overwhelmingly told us, we'll be there, we'll support it. And here's the other good thing about it. It's part of Rotary Fest. Rotary Fest raises the money to put back in the community during the year. They had the best, not just best Thursday night, the best night ever,
of all the
including
years.
Friday, Saturday, they've ever had in fundraising. Secondly, they raised more money on Thursday night than they did Friday and Saturday combined. And they're in six figures now as far as what they raised this year. And that was great because it goes back to the community. It helps community programs, you know, from Kenneth Young to other groups, scholarships for the young people. It was great for them. So we're excited. Matter of fact, the board will be talking soon about, you know, we did a 3-year trial run. Next year's a 3rd year. And Rotary Club talked to me already saying, you know, we'd like to plan ahead. Can you let us know what you're thinking for the future? So I'm going to talk to the board soon. Do we want to do another 3 year after that? Because it was unbelievable.
Very successful.
Not one arrest.
I was just going to ask you, so did you have even maybe more police on duty, but they were never needed?
Yeah, we had the biggest police contingent we've ever had for a concert. And it turned out the people were there. And we didn't know what to expect. Anyone there is, they probably saw the Homeland Security. They call it Eye in the Sky with them. But we had not one arrest. Those young people were so polite, so nice, so friendly. I mean, it made you proud. I mean, you know, because like I say, that's my kids, your kids' age. That's our kids' age out there. And with our grandkids' age with them. And they did phenomenal. And I had more come up to me. Someone said, you're the mayor. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. We had a great time. And not one problem. Actually, the whole concert season, biggest crowds ever. Not one arrest.
No
all
incidents.
Year. No incidents. That's what's special at Elk Grove. Even though some people come from outside Elk Grove, we rub off on them that when you're in Elk Grove, you have fun, you listen, you have no problems, and it works out great.
Boy.
So.
An exceptional community. Well, it was, I mean, I would see the people flocking in early in the day, making their way over, whether it was over by the water park or in the main, the main green area there. And I thought, where are all these people? You need to expand somehow, but how can you do that?
Yeah, well, we got to be careful. My staff and police especially say, Mayor, be careful how big you get, Because they gave me, I don't really know the young bands.
Yeah.
You could have offered me $1 million the day of the concert with American Rejects. I could not name one song. I could not name one band member. And so, again, that's fine because it's their genre. But they were so nice. What was funny about them, though, was they're such a late arriving crowd. When we have the bands like we had Ann Wilson from Heart, we had Spinners here,
They're
even KC,
early.
They come out early, they get their chairs. These young people, we'll watch them out Elko Boulevard. The cars are lined up from Lions Drive to Arlington Heights Road and down. They're coming up to 7:15, 7:20, dropping their friends off. They're coming to see the show. They go park. They're a late arriving crowd. And but that's how young people are. A lot of them came from other areas and stuff. But it went so smooth, so nice. The Rotarians were telling me, Mayor, they were thanking us. Second, they were saying, is it really only $6 for a beer? Are you sure that's right? Are you sure that's right by even the premium beer? Yeah, that's all they charge. They're used to paying $12 and $15 at Lollapalooza, other events. It's so affordable, and people were letting the kids go to the carnival. It was just a perfect community event that way. And the other ones were great.
Well, you were right.
KC and, the Lions Club, they were with us on the 4th of July, KC Sunshine Man. They raised by 4 times the most money they ever raised on the 4th of July.
Right.
And again, their money goes back to the community. So everyone's a win-win, and it really makes Elk Grove
the right decisions
special.
were certainly made, and any hesitancy you had about that, young people, no more, right?
No more.
Well, that was all the summer fun. Now we want to look forward to the fall.
Yes.
And what would you like to share today that's coming up next month?
We're excited coming up on September 16th, Saturday 16th, part of Oktoberfest, or someone's nice to call it Franke Fest for Trustee Jeff Franke. We have our Oktoberfest, and we have a parade on that Saturday at 2 p.m. Goes like it always has down Elko Boulevard from Tani to Lions Drive right there by the fest. And again, we're doing it again. We moved it a couple years ago from June. It used to be tied to Rotary Fest.
Why did they change into the fall?
Well, the same reason Rotary Fest changed. It seems like June, you either get immense amount of rain, immense heat, or immense cold. You never seem to get like perfect weather. Now, Rotary Fest moved to July, and for the past either second or third year, they've had no weather problems. A little light rain this year on Friday, but they never had to close. They kept going. So that works out well, but our view still gets hot in that time of year.
Sure.
So we moved it to tie into Oktoberfest, and it's been a very good success. It seems like it's easier to get groups because in the summertime, everyone's doing parades.
They're booked.
Doing everything, 4th of July and all the rest. Whereas by September, they kind of back down, so we have a little easier opportunity to get some groups that we normally don't get. And so it was worked out well. And what's nice is we've now tied it into a family part of Oktoberfest in the afternoon after the parade, and before more of an adult thing in the evening.
Yeah, that's a great thing.
That's
good planning.
Oh, that's taken off. I'm telling you, Sue, the number of people showing up for that afternoon with the families. We have jump houses. We have the giant balloon guy, face painters, and all the rest. It's just we have to keep expanding what we bring in.
Are you going to bring those big balloons like were there?
Well, we've still got the village one welcoming everyone at the beginning of the parade, and we have a different character this year. Where he had Scooby-Doo last year.
Yeah.
We got a different character this year. We'll let people figure it out when they see him.
You're
I'm going to hold it
that
back.
Surprise
but
thing.
yes, we're going to have a giant balloon thing again. Hope is it's not as windy as last year.
Yeah, that was kind of
because with the wind, our goal always was about when we get to Victoria, we can let the ropes and set them up real high because there's not much tree canopy cover there. We can do that all the way up to almost QR. Then we bring them back down to finish. Last year was so windy, risky, so we kept them the regular height. You still got to enjoy them.
Sure.
But we want to see them.
Yeah, that was a nice addition.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to say who the Grand Marshal
Yes, we're glad and proud to say that. And after what we've gone through this year, from our events and everything, it makes sense. It's our first responders. So our fire department, our police department, our public works, we're going to recognize and honor them for all they do. And Sue, you hear me at every concert, I say, if you see one of our first responders, thank them.
Yeah.
Thank them for what they've done. Thank them for the dedication to the community, not just at the public events, what they do all year round.
Right.
Public works at 3 in the morning when it's 20 below, fixing a water break. Policemen going out to rescue someone, and firemen at 2 in the morning when it's 25 below or 110 degrees. They're there all the time when we need them. And we want to thank our communities, first responders. As I say all the time, Sue, we back the blue 1,000% in Oak Grove. We back our firemen, our public works. They never let us down.
Never.
And anyone that's gone to our events, whether it's Oktoberfest, tree lighting, concerts, everything goes smoothly. They have the signs up, they have the paths up, they have the security up, they have the safety up. It's so easy and nice. And
seamless.
Tying into back our concert series, 10 minutes after the concert, example, All American Rejects, thousands and thousands of people there. I stuck around about a half hour. When I left a half hour later, wide open. All the streets were open, everything has been dispersed, they drove away safely. Unbelievable. You go to an event in Chicago, you sit in that parking lot an hour sometimes, just get out of a parking lot.
I've heard
then another hour down the street.
Sure.
Here, 15, 20 minutes, our summer concerts. We had Ann Wilson of Heart the other day. Big crowd, huge crowd, biggest crowd at the Village Hall this year. I think 10 minutes later, everyone's gone.
It's gone.
It was fine, the streets were open. They do a phenomenal job with laying everything out, getting people in and out, safety. They do a great job.
Excellent training.
So we're going to recognize them. We're going to get a chance to thank them again. And what's funny is they'll be working that day for the parade at Oktoberfest, but we're going to be thanking them too at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I've had my own personal experience with the paramedics, and couldn't get better.
Well, and it's
Appreciate
funny.
them.
Yeah, I mean, it really disheartens me when I hear, like, defund the police. People that talk like that, I won't say what I think of them. It makes no sense. Because who's the first one you call when something goes wrong? 911. If you got, like you said, injury or health issue, paramedics come, fire come. If you got a safety or security issue, police are there. No hesitation. And if you need anything, a tree, we had that big storm go through this year.
You handled that. That's another example of you really handled that.
Public works. I mean,
I drove around the next day just to survey, and there was some major tree damage. And the way I had other neighbors saying to me, "What a wonderful thing that you offered, that we could get everything out, have it picked up."
And we pick it up.
Yeah.
And it was a tree from your backyard.
Yeah.
We had a lot of people, backyard branches, they brought them from. We didn't mind.
Right.
We cleaned up. But again, our guys, they worked Saturday because that was a Friday night storm. They worked Saturday. They worked Sunday. They worked the whole week. Everything up, and they went back sometimes.
Yeah.
Because people said, "Oh, I couldn't get it out. I'm sorry." They went back and got them. I mean, that's the quality people we have. And that's why I always say, you can't thank them enough.
They're not thanked enough.
No.
And they all needed a big thank you after what we went through years ago, to recognize them at that time, too. So I think you couldn't have picked a better Grand Marshal.
Yeah, and they're not alone. We thank all of our employees. Sue, your volunteerism here at Oak. No. We look at the shows, you get information out to the public, let everyone knows what's coming on, going. You're valuable, you're asset to the community, getting the word out. Our Channel 6 people, they're out there, you see them. Pouring rain, they're doing the high school football games. Freezing cold, they're doing winter events. I mean, they're always there. People say, well, no, it is important. A lot of people watch this, whether you have a relative involved or just, especially seniors like us. Some nights you want to just sit back, relax, watch what's going on locally. They filmed it. I mean, they'll be out there for the parade. Because some people can't make it, but they get to still enjoy and be part of it by watching Channel 6. So we have that, the administration people. I'm telling you.
That's called community.
Yes, and I've learned to appreciate it, especially as I'm getting older. You learn to appreciate it more and more.
Isn't that
as
the
time
truth?
goes on. You take it
Everything.
for granted when you're young.
It's so true.
And as we get older, we now realize, wow, thank God we have these people doing it. And it's little things that make a big difference. Like I say, it might be on a cold night, just a chance to watch a baseball game at the high school. Channel 6 did that, of course. They were happy to do it. Great job always. You getting the information to the public. That's helpful. A lot of people not know about the parade except they watch Channel 6. They hear you.
Yeah.
And that's helpful to people.
Do we have a theme for this year's parade?
Well, yeah, it's, supporting the first responders.
Oh, that is the theme as well.
Yeah, to help them and make sure they're good and stuff. So we're excited about that.
Wouldn't that be cute? All of a sudden I had this vision of little children lining the parade route wearing their little plastic fireman caps or
the stars from
wouldn't
the
that be
police
cute?
department. Yeah,
That's
you'll see. Well, we're going to be
moms
tossing.
and dads.
We're going to be tossing some things out.
I bet you will be.
We're going to be tossing out, as you know, the race car will be there. It'll be in the parade this year. You know, Brad, there was a great thing getting our word out there, our name out there. The amazing thing was the first commercial after Justin Fields said, "Start your engines," before they started racing, was our commercial nationally.
I don't think we got to talk to you about, since that race, but weather wasn't too good that day.
You know,
that was a big
I
change.
give Chicago credit. As much as we sometimes debate with them, they had the most rain in the history of Chicago that day on that date. And they got that course. I'm telling you, there was times too the water was up to your ankles, but they got it cleared off, they got it ready, and they got the race in. I give them credit for it. But what's nice for us was, like I say, we got the word out, and we're excited. So we're going to do it again next year. So the race car will be in the parade. We're going to have some special race towels with the car on there, tossing. We're going to have some T-shirts tossing out.
Wow. People will be fighting for those.
We'll have some other racing stuff out there. So, you know, that's what's nice about the parade. It gives us a chance to promote Elk Grove, because a lot of people come from out of town. They bring their relatives, they have family and friends. We'll be able to show Elk Grove off again with a great event, just like we do with the concerts, we do with all events. We get to brag about Elk Grove. And I always tell people this, Sue. And they say, well, do you want all these other people? You never know who's in our town for an event. They might own a factory that want to locate in the Midwest here in Elk Grove, or might own something else they want to do in Elk Grove. And by having these events, one, we help our community, but we also help showcase our community. And remember, our community gets 85 cents of every dollar from that business park. And most of those owners don't live in Elk Grove. Most of those employees don't live in Elk Grove. But if they come, they help support it, who knows what they may do for us. So it's a true community event. And it's a way to, I'm kind of proud, but it's a way to brag about Elk Grove.
I mean, these were ideas initiated. Oh, by the way, how did your son, after the race, was he still reminding you, Dad, that was kind of his initial idea?
I've heard that every day for the past 8-9 months. Yeah, he is very proud of his idea, very proud of how well it went, and yeah, he still lets me know where that came from. And I have no problem giving Junior credit. Junior did a great job with it and took off, so we're very happy about that.
And as you were mentioning, my son lives in Colorado, and his interest in that race was as high as anyone else in this community.
Oh, yeah.
So it is nationwide. People were interested in following it.
I tell people all the time, I never realized this. I was not a NASCAR fan before we started doing this, but I got to tell you, I found more. NASCAR is the #1 sport in America. #1, more than football. And I never knew that, so I saw the numbers and viewers and fans and all this. And so we're marketing to the biggest group out there. And like I say, having Brad as our driver, he owns a manufacturing plant in North Carolina. So he's big in manufacturing. As he said, he's bigger in that than he is in his racing. Because that's my whole career going down the road. Racing will stop. My business will keep going.
Keep going,
So it's a good partnership.
Wow. Wow, it's a great place to live. We say that every time, but it is. There's never dull times in Elk Grove. I mean, you'll be back not too long talking about Christmas lighting.
Tree lighting.
So there's no matter the season, there's something fun to look forward to. So again, it was another fun summer. Just everyone enjoyed it, and now we have all these activities coming up for fall.
And that's the key, Sue. Keeping the people together, showing family together, community. That's why they're free events. We don't charge for our concerts. I mean, the bands always look at me. You don't charge me? No, we don't charge. Looking at the other stuff we do, from Play Picnic Party, biggest crowd ever for that in July. I mean, it's just so nice to see parents, grandparents with their kids, grandkids, and the turnouts have been phenomenal. But again, no issues, no problems, no fights, no arguments, it goes nicely because people are happy, enjoying themselves. And when people are happy, enjoying themselves, it's a win for the community. And we're busy. I mean, I feel bad for our staff. I mean, they get exhausted by this time of year.
Are you already in the planning stage for next year's concerts? Any hints you want to drop?
Well, not quite yet, but But I'll say
But
this.
you're excited about it?
Well, I'll say this. First off, the young people came through, so Rotary Fest, like I said, will always get that young band now.
Okay.
They didn't let us down. Secondly, our state senator, Laura Murphy, got me a grant for community events this year, bringing community together. So I got an extra $200,000.
Oh.
$200,000 for our concerts next year. So I would just tell you, band-wise, this will definitely be our biggest ever coming up. Not overboard, so my staff gets nervous and all that, but it will be the biggest from start to finish and everything in between.
Are you going to conclude this program leaving us dangling like that?
We have to wait and see, but by the time I talk about tree lighting,
You might.
I think we'll be in good shape.
You might be able to
if
announce
not
something
earlier,
then.
we might be able to announce early.
We'll hold you to it.
We'll be there.
As always, thank you, Mayor, for
you,
taking
Sue.
time out of such a busy schedule to stop by and remind us why, once again, why this is such an exceptional community. And it's certainly led by people filled with excitement and great ideas to keep us going. And we appreciate it all.
Thank you, Sue. Glad to be here.
Thanks for being with us, Mayor Johnson. We will be right back with the rest of our program. Welcome back, everyone. My next guest is Jeff Franke. Good to see you again, Jeff.
Hi, Sue. How are you?
Very good. It's been a long time since you and I have sat at this table
Sure
together.
has. It's good to see you
And
again.
do you happen to know the guest that was just on the program? Do you know that man?
Yeah, I have nightmares about that man. Actually, it was our great mayor, Mayor
Yes,
Johnson.
And we know that both of you work together all the time on so many
We do.
things. He was referring to something called Franke Fest coming up, lovingly, of course.
Yeah.
But this would pertain to Oktoberfest, and it is something, I guess, that he calls it Franke Fest because this was your idea how many years ago?
This goes back to 2016 when we were talking about doing when we were planning the 60th anniversary of the village. And before there were like suit and tie parties the years before, or the 10 years before that, and we were trying to think of something to get more of the village involved with. So we're thinking, okay, what kind of time? And we didn't really add anything in this fall. So I'm like, I mentioned, well, how about Oktoberfest? And everybody looked at me and go, what? And I said, yeah. And they said, here you go, you take it.
Yeah, you take and run with it, huh?
So I did, and so obviously it's got all the other trustees, the mayor's involved, all the employees.
Right, a lot of work behind the scenes.
A lot of work. They do almost all the work, and they come up with great ideas. It was just, I'm just that person. But they kind of jokingly called it Franke Fest, and it stuck. So
Yeah.
I could be worse to be named different things,
No,
but
I think it was a great idea, and obviously it's grown, and it's kind of a nice continuum from summer because you'll have bands there too, right?
we will. We have two bands, one on Friday night, one on Saturday. Friday night is Jimmy's Bavarians, and on Saturday night it's Die Music Meisters.
Have you heard them perform before?
I have. We've had, or Die D, Music Meisters, if I get it correct, has been there pretty much since we started.
Yeah.
And Jimmy's Bavarians are new this time. So everybody loves the bands we have, but there's dancing, there's so many different events. I'm not sure you talked to the mayor about the parade.
Sure.
Well,
it's a nice tie-in.
Right. So, well, just to get back, it starts on Friday night, September 15th. And goes from 6 to 11. And then on Saturday, it starts at 3 p.m., right after the parade is over, and then goes to 11 p.m. Now, after the parade, it's more of a family fest from about 3 to 7. We're going to have all sorts of different...
So it's designed during that time more for family events with children.
There'll be plenty of events for the kids. There are blow-up houses, balloon guys, all different. There's cutouts that people can take family pictures in German dress, just all sorts of different things. Giant Jenga tables. Every year it keeps getting bigger and bigger, so we keep adding on to it more. But it is pretty much set for families.
Mm-hmm. Well, part of the big draw with any event like this is food and drink. So
Well,
what have you got coming?
Well, being an Oktoberfest, believe it or not, we will have beer. We will have German beer. We have some beers that are for being imported for it. Then some national breweries that we have that make Oktoberfest. So there'll be a variety of about 7 different beers, but there's also will be wine and wine coolers. Also, there'll be soda, of course, and then root beer floats. The mayor had to add root beer floats about 4 years
That's
ago.
nice for the kids, root beer, and yeah.
It is, and surprisingly, it sells a lot of them. So, and then the German food. Tasty Catering is doing again. They've been with us since the start. There'll be bratwurst and chicken schnitzel, and all different kinds of sides that you can get: German potato salad, sauerkraut. Yeah, it's and fantastic food. They cook it right there. It's not pre-made,
the scents in the air.
Yeah, it's great. And then there's German pretzels, huge pretzels. That's another thing Mayor had to have.
Yeah.
I mean, pretzel the size of a tire, pretty much. We have different sizes for that, but the food will be great, and we'll have. You can buy either just a sandwich or you can buy the meal, and
Everything reasonably priced.
they're very reasonably priced. You wouldn't be able to get a meal like that at a restaurant, for sure. One thing we did change this year with the beer, we have a different mug now. We have still a 32-ounce mug that you will pay to fill it, and then it's 1 ticket less to refill it. But now we have a 16-ounce mug. Instead of the 14-inch plastic cup, it'll be a 16-inch refillable one. So it'll take just another ticket, or 1 less ticket to refill it up, depending on what you're buying. So this way, it's a souvenir mug for the kids, and the root beer floats will come in those now.
Oh, cute.
So this way, because we were trying to hand them out in these big 32-ounce mugs, it's way too much root beer and ice cream for the kids.
Well, each year you find ways to improve. You see what works and where you want to improve.
So yeah, we tweak it each year when we do that.
And where can the viewers buy tickets in advance, or you just wait till the day of the event?
No, you can buy them at the event.
A little bit.
Not a problem, but ahead of time. In fact, it'll be starting pretty soon. Just check the village website. You can go and buy the tickets ahead of time, and if you buy them ahead of time, before the cutoff date, I think it's pretty much most of, I think we cut off the first week of September, but you get 20% extra. So if for
there's an
or for
incentive.
$8, you get 10 tickets. So they're $1 each, the ticket. So you get 2 extra tickets for $8. So if you keep buying, and this way, we get to know what we're dealing with. So that's why we give that discount, so we know pretty much what the pre-sales are. But last year we ran out of tickets.
Oh, wow.
So we had to go out and buy more, and now this year we're ready. So
like with all the other events, it just grows.
it keeps going. And again, it depends on the weather, just like the parade.
Sure.
So, if we do have an enclosed tent and it has sides, so if it gets a little cool, we can drop the sides down on the tent. It's not going to be heated, but it's still middle of September, but it's the wind that usually goes through there, so it'll be covered, and if it rains, we're still going to have it. The band's under the tent. It's a huge tent. May affect the kids' games a little bit, but we keep our fingers crossed and hope that everything holds out.
How much personal time do you have to put into planning an event like this, Jeff?
Well, my personal time, not as much as our employees.
Staff,
the staff is working on this a little bit, almost every month, just to confirm things, because you got to book bands, you got to get all this, and then it's go time now. It's starting to get, we need to make sure that we get, the food preparation, especially the parade people, but, locking up to make sure, we book the tents, probably 8-9 months before.
Yeah, when you really stop and think of all the little things that are involved in putting one production together, it's a lot.
I really, I can't thank the employees enough for what they do. I mean, on all our events, but with this, I mean, it's a lot. It's a 2-day thing. But,
and you got security again.
Well,
it's
it's a different crowd that we get at Oktoberfest. It's more of, laid back kind of. People go to different Oktoberfests around the area. Itasca usually has theirs. That's kind of where I got the idea for it, but they did theirs downtown, which is a very small area. Ours is different. We have this wide open
yeah,
field,
sure.
so we can have everything in one area where they have to kind of move around in blocks. I know Palatine has a big one too, but we're not on the same weeks usually. I mean,
Yeah.
unless they
Well, that's
adjust it.
good,
That's
because-
why, well, now that we have the parade, we're the same week
Sure.
every year, so.
It's nice because it extends the fall season so people can hop around and
It's-
take them all in.
Yeah, it's really the last party. I mean, you still have the tree lighting, after Thanksgiving, but that's, it's kind of cold out there. People come and they leave.
Sure.
This one, it's like almost the last get together
Yeah.
before, winter sets in.
Well, Jeff, thank you for filling us in on what we can look forward to now in September, all these fun-filled months. So would you like to join me in thanking our viewers once again for...
I would. Where are we? Thanks again for listening, and
Yeah.
it's great to see Sue back.
Yeah, good to
Appreciate
be
it.
with you again today, Jeff. And as always, we want to thank you for joining us here on In the Grove, and we look forward to being with all of you next month. See you then.